Hi everyone, it's Sue. I hope you're keeping really well. So I'm just thought I'd start a little, well, I don't know whether it's going to be a series or just a few videos here and there to help us get out of that creative rut. I don't know whether we're changing seasons is making a lot of us feel uninspired or lack of mojo. I know it's winter here in Australia where I am, and I'm really looking forward to spring and a little bit warmer weather. So I am finding lately that I am in a creative rut. So most of you would know what rut means. It means like a habit or a pattern of behavior that's become dull and unproductive, and it's hard to change. That's me in a nutshell at the moment. So I'm hoping that with this little series of videos, and it'll probably be things that people have done before, but I just wanted to share with you things that I do that sometimes help me get out of my creative rut, things that people have suggested to me to get out of my creative rut. As you can see, I have a huge mess on my desk, and it's seriously, it's all around me. And honestly, that doesn't help with my creativity. I know that. And I think I get into another rut where I just go, I can't think of anything to do. I'm just not going to do anything. So while I'm chatting to you, I'm just going to make a little bit of space. So we're going to start today with a video and of just a couple of things. Well, one thing that I do and that I have found that actually inspires me to do a little bit more. So I'm just, well, I said I'm cleaning up. I'm not really, I'm just pushing everything to the side just so I have a little bit of a clear space. So I guess my hope for these type of videos is to help you get out of that creative rut. So let's get started. So today I have a container of scraps. I'm just going to grab that. So I have this big drawer of scraps. It's actually out of a tower of 12-inch drawers. I don't have a lot of scraps, and my beautiful friend Vicky laughs at me because my scraps sometimes look like this, you know, like I might cut a piece off for something and then I just throw this in my scraps drawer. That's how I work. I do have more and more little scraps that I've sort of been doing a little bit of creating in front of the telly the last few nights because I've been busy with work and tired when I get home. So that's another thing that doesn't help when we're in a creative rut. We're tired and it's hard to push ourselves to do things. So I've made a concerted effort the last few nights to try and push myself to do something. So rather than just fussy cutting, so that's one thing that I do like to do if I'm not feeling creative or I can't think of anything to do. I love to fussy cut. Now I know that that's not something that everybody loves to do, but I do find that that's therapeutic for me. But what we're going to do today is we're just going to work through this container of scraps. So I've got all sorts of bits and pieces. I've got leftover printables, I've got scrapbooking pages, some book pages. I've got, I don't know what this cardstock is doing in here, probably because it's torn. So I've just thrown it in the scraps. I've got all sorts of bits and pieces. I've got bits here to fussy cut out. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge of all sorts of things. I did throw a couple of pieces, couple of rolls of washi tape in this drawer just so that I had that handy upstairs if I wanted to use it. So this is what we're going to work on. I've got some coffee dye paper scraps here, some different book paper scraps. So we're going to just play and just do basic, very, very basic. Let me find a space for this. Sorry, guys. As I said, I didn't clean up. I've just pushed everything to the side. So we'll try and put that there so that I can grab a few bits and pieces out. So what I'm going to be working on today are just some tag bases. These are just cut out of manila folder. I do also have a collage book, which I have shown in previous videos before. So I'll just quickly grab that. So this is just an old book that I picked up from an op shop, and I was going to send it back. I mean, some of these pictures I might cut out and use, you know, like these sort of advertising things, but for the most part, the pictures didn't really inspire me to use them in my journals. So what I've done is, and I'll keep this page, I love the colouring on that, so these will be used for something else. But you can see here I've just glued bits and pieces down and just made basically what everyone's calling a masterboard. And then when I'm need a tag or a journaling card, I will cut this down, and I've just put plain or neutrals on the back so that they're pretty much done. All you've got to do is add a bit of decoration. So you can see here I've done different pages, sort of tried to keep a little bit of a colour theme happening. I haven't finished pages. I'm just pretty much opening up the book and just gluing down as I feel. So I don't use a lot of blue and purple, as you can tell, but as I'm getting blue and purple, I will stick them down there. So these are just scraps left over from projects. I was doing really well there at one stage, and when I finished a project, if I had scraps, I was gluing them straight in here. But so you get the idea. So you can do your collage in that way. I find doing your collage really inspiring because every page or every tag is completely different, and it doesn't have to be lots of little pieces. You can do 2 pieces of paper. So let's go. And as I said, you know, like people are going to say to me, and I know that they're going to say that's not a scrap, but I love this paper, and what I'm thinking is I'm just going to cover a tag, even like half of a tag, and then decorate it. So what I'm going to do is probably just fasten up the video, and you'll get an idea of what I mean with just doing, you know, doing your collage and adding bits and pieces. And then you've got a whole heap of bases then that you can then decorate when you do feel inspired to do more. You've got your tag bases, and you can grab whatever suits that particular journal that you're working on at the time, and you're one step ahead before you even start. So when I've got a bigger piece like this, I just mainly put it over about 2/3 of the tag and cut it out. I'll just pop my glasses on. Trim that off, and I'll just pop that back in my scrap drawer there. As I said, I can hear Vicky saying now, that's not a scrap. She's probably cringing, thinking, oh my goodness, that's such a waste. But you know what? It's my paper, and I will use it how I like. I've got so much 12-inch paper, it's not funny. So I'm just going to tear this washi tape and this can be used on something. If I do maybe a tag with 2/3 of the tag covered here, and then put this washi tape here, and I'm going to stick it down. You know, it's just a matter of, I guess, rather than giving into the fact that we feel uninspired or we are in that creative rut, it's just a matter of making ourselves do something, you know. So once that's, I like to sew. So what I would also do is, at this stage when I wouldn't do it, but when we get to the point where I'm feeling inspired, I would do the back of this with coffee dyed paper, and I would sew around it and then decorate it. So that's it, you know, like that's a tag base done, as easy as that, just using bits and pieces from my scrap pile. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few. As I said, I will fasten up the video. I hope it's helpful for somebody, and it's just, as I said, it's just a matter of not giving into that feeling of feeling uninspired. Just do something, even if it's just tidy up your craft space, or, you know, flick through some papers and have a look and see if you can be inspired to do something. So today, as I said, we're just going to do some collage tags, and I'll come back to you when I've got a few together. Okay guys, so I have sat here for about half an hour and I am actually feeling inspired. I feel like going further with these and inking them, sewing, like backing them with coffee dye paper, inking them, sewing them, and maybe even decorating some. Now I'm not going to do that today, but I just wanted to show you what you can get done in just half an hour of sitting and playing. If you don't have scraps, cut into your 12-inch papers. I mean, honestly, why do we buy them to sit on a shelf? We need to use them. But as you can see here, with one of the bigger scraps, I I loved that paper. It's quite fresh and clean for my sort of style, but once I add some ink and decorate it, it will become, I will make it a little bit more vintage. We can add some coffee splats on it. You can do all sorts of things. So part of these videos, I may even come back and revisit some of these collage tags and decorate them with you, but just use with your bigger scraps, just cover a tag. It's something. So these are just some that I've done with a printable, some book paper and some packaging. Just collage those. Another one here. This is the branding strip on the bottom of a 12-inch sheet of paper. I've just kept that on, added a bit of torn printable, and that's that same paper there. So as you can see, just having a play around and just gluing some stuff down. So this was the bottom piece of this that I tore off. I just put it down as a base. These are scrapbooking papers. I've just turned it the other way and done it that way. None of these are backed at the moment. So you get the idea. These were printables. This is scrapbooking paper. You get the idea. So it's just a matter of sitting and playing with your scraps and just doing a little bit of collage. Some more are collage than others. Some are just have two pieces. So this has got, this is one of my mixed grunge printables. I had a scrap of that, and I've just put a bit of book paper there, a printable, and then another bit of book paper there. As I said, these are just bases. These are just strips that I've glued down. A little bit of grid paper that I've coffee dyed. Yeah, so you get the idea. And that's the first one that I did with the scrapbooking paper. So that's all just within half an hour, just not even really thinking about it. And as I said, it's got me a little bit inspired to keep going and backing them with coffee dyed paper or backing them with craft paper, whatever it is that you like to back them with. You don't even really need to back them. If you haven't carried any paper over, you could stencil that. You don't have to back them at all. So grab your scraps, grab your 12-inch papers, just do it. Just sit down and just do a little bit of collage. And hopefully that will start getting you, as well as myself, out of that creative rut that we're in. So I hope that was helpful. As I said, these little videos, they're not going to be long. Maybe some will be longer. It depends what project I decide to do. I also get inspired by other YouTubers. So there's a lot of amazing ladies and gents out there that do a lot of amazing work. So I just find sometimes if I'm feeling that I'm in that creative rut, it can be overwhelming watching too much YouTube as well. I watch YouTube and I don't get anything done. So I may get some ideas from other YouTubers, and of course I will credit them when I do that. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you'd like to see more of these. Let's get out of that creative rut videos. I just think that we can all help one another. We're all creative. We just need to be creative. So it's a matter of just sitting and doing, and the creativity will come eventually. So all right, I'm going to leave it with you today. Hope you can find your scraps and have a little bit of collage fun. So until next time, keep well, and I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. See you soon.